Hello friends, today I've got some thoughts about creation to share with you. Some epiphanies. Alright, this is by no means a full, complete picture, but I thought these were interesting thoughts, so I thought I'd share them. Alright, so I feel like creation has a lot to do with where we put our focus, and also has a lot to do with our perception or seeing reality and what's true, and has a lot to do with choosing where we're going to put our focus, choosing what we're going to be aware of, choosing what we're going to create intentions about, and what we're going to choose to do after we're choosing what we're going to focus on, and then what actions we're going to take and what we're going to do. So you may have heard of manifesting, choosing your words carefully, etc., to help you create something. And sometimes people can say like, oh, well, just using your words, you could just lie and be inaccurate. Or maybe you're negating the harsh realities that exist and only focusing on like hopefulness that reality is positive. So let's talk a little bit about a positive and negative continuum of true things. So I see in my mind, so let's imagine we've got a line here, which is a continuum of things that are real. Things on this half are negative, things on this side are positive. So say someone wants to they think, oh, I would love to create something, and it could be anything. It could be actually build something with their hands. It could be an experience. It could be a skill. Maybe they want to build a desk. Maybe they want to have the experience of being able to say I love you to people that they love. Maybe they want to have the experience of feeling safe dancing in front of other people. Maybe they want to have the experience of going somewhere, like being on a beach and having a picnic. And enjoying that. So they identify something they want to create. So they could either just they could be inaccurate, have an inaccurate view of that, or they could be in denial, or denial that it is possible, denial that it's not possible, whatever the situation is. Or they could move forward with wisdom and awareness and knowledge and know what to do and how to make that happen to create that experience for them. So this is true, or this, if you could think about any creation, a relationship, having a child, like parenthood, having a job, building a house, buying a pink dress, having a certain amount of money in your bank account, feeling appreciation from an outside person, belief in God. Like there's all kinds of things you can imagine. We could take a look at like lots of stuff in our life of what we would like to create. Okay, so say we've got this continuum of true reality about picnics on beaches. This person wants to create that. So on the negative side, there are things that are negative that are part of reality. Sometimes it's the weather is cold or too windy. Sometimes tar washes up on the beach. Sometimes you can drop your food in the sand if you don't have a picnic blanket, and then you can't eat it. If you bring only frozen food, it might melt and go bad. People you go on a picnic with might be in a bad mood. Someone might approach you and be rude to you while you're at the beach. There might not be room on the beach. It might be so crowded you can't get parking. You might need to park somewhere that's really expensive. So those are all things that could be real, true, as in they are real. It is part of reality. And then on the positive side, there could be lots of other things that are true and a part of reality that are positive of, wow, there's a beach just 10 minutes away from me. It would only take me 10 minutes to drive, 25 minutes to bike, an hour and 10 minutes to walk. There are different places to park to go to the beach. I can wear different clothing that will make it comfortable no matter what the weather is like. Even there are lots of places to sit on the beach. If it's high tide, you can sit over here. If it's low tide, you can sit over there. There are a variety of foods that I could bring that would be convenient and enjoyable for different reasons. Just being on the beach, enjoying the fresh air, regardless of what food I have, has its own enjoyment. Hearing the waves has its own enjoyment. There are people and the opportunity to experience different types of people because they'll be present on the beach. Okay, so those things are true. They are real real factors, or what do we call that? Real truths about picnic on the beach. And these are real truths about picnic on the beach. Now, imagine what it would be like if someone didn't want to look at any of those. They just wanted to look somewhere else and pretend and make up what they thought would be likely or what they wanted, and just be in kind of denial of real reality or of truths, positive and negative, and just make up their own story. I don't have a good example of that, but that could have negative consequences of things not working the way that they expected, or them not being prepared, or even knowing how to do it. If someone was only okay with looking at the negative realities, they would be highly aware of the worst case scenario, of how that creation, all the ways that attempt to create that thing could end up in an uncomfortable or painful outcome. Someone who's only willing to look at the positive realities might lack the awareness of rush hour, that there are some days of the year that are super crowded, that they need to make sure that their food won't be perished before it won't go bad before they arrive at the beach. That if they want to be there during the sunset or sunrise, or while the sun is still up, they'll need to leave their house at a certain time they might lack awareness about the things that could help them succeed at that. Okay, so if someone wants to create it, avoiding, not wanting to look at anything that's real won't help them create it. There's lots of ways that will create a problem for them. If someone only wants to look at the negative, do you think they're ever going to create that creation? I don't think so. I don't think it's very likely, because they're likely going to just feel doom that it's not possible, and if I try to, it'll just get worse. I'll actually have a bad experience, because look at all the ways it can go wrong. And someone who's only looking at the positive realities might also fail to create it, because they could run into things they weren't anticipating, of I didn't know that it's closed at certain times of the day. I didn't know that there was an oil spill recently and all the beaches are closed. Or I didn't know that rush hour is right now and I'm actually not going to make it before the sun goes down. Or that packing ice cream and not in the cooler is not going to go well. Or not bringing utensils or something. Or not bringing a blanket and they drop their food on the sand. So being able to look at the whole reality, negative realities and positive realities, would be the best, I would argue, is the best place to create from, so that you have awareness. But then if you want to just be aware of everything that goes into something, giving equal credence, equal time to both the negative and the positive would serve well. So you're fully aware of everything. Only look at the positive as long as you look at the negative, and vice versa. So you give it equal attention. But then if you want to create something, we need to collect the ingredients to make that recipe. So we need awareness of what time of day will work, what food will work, what route to go to the beach will work best. How much time do you need? What day of the week will work best? So if you want to create something, we need to be aware of the ingredients that will help create it, which means, I would say, in this conversation, that requires more time looking at the positive than the negative. So we need to look at the negative enough to be aware of it, but then spend more time looking at the positive so that we can find the ingredients that are going to help us actually create the creation. If we gave equal time to both, that might not really help. I'll just slow down us finding the ingredients of what does work and what will succeed, which is over here. And then going over here can just decrease our motivation and bring in doubt or confusion. And going there, even just for a second repeatedly, can just create emotional exhaustion, whiplash, and doubting ourselves of like, but having awareness so that we have that wisdom of like, oh, it would be good to leave, like be aware of rush hour time, like the most common, like the most likely things that would be involved or factor into our creation. What time is rush hour time? What is the weather forecast for if we want to be there when it's sunny? What is the commute time going to be like? What time do we need to leave by? And what foods will last well for that amount of time? Like just some of the basic information, and then spend most of our time over here creating it. Because then if we can find all the ingredients we need, then we can make the recipe and make it happen. Woohoo! Okay, so that might all sound simple. Things are simple once you like look backwards at it, right? But I've seen this, and I wonder if you have seen this, if you've seen people who only look at the negative and they're like, I'm being realistic and I'm being truthful and accurate, but they are not realizing that there's truthful, accurate information that's positive as well, because that can kind of lead to nihilism but confidence that you're being very factual, and accurate of like, well, everything that I've looked at over here and I've counted up, they're all true. So I'm just being very truthful. Like I'm just living in reality. But it's actually not if they're missing the other half. And vice versa. I don't know if you've ever experienced or yourself or someone else doing just this, of they're only willing to look at the positive reality or truths or facts. That can lead to getting your hopes up and then running into roadblocks because you had no concept and no awareness of them. Or if you've experienced yourself or someone else refusing or being in denial and just making stuff up, like as in just randomly, like with no awareness of what is, of just making stuff up and then being really certain that that's how it is. And that can, anyway. Okay, so for creation, being aware of things useful and then focusing in on the positive so you can find the ingredients of what's going to help you actually build the creation. Also, where your focus goes, it grows. Whatever you focus on is going to grow and enhance. So being awareness mode is like equal looking at both. But then once you want to create something, if you don't want to create any of these situations, then we don't want to put a lot of focus on them. When you're going to create, it's like a next level up. You want to put the focus towards what you do want. What you do want. What is going to work. And keep the focus there, because if we stop to come over here, we're just going to be growing this. So, oh, I wonder how clear that was. So anyway, I was connecting to that visual in my head. Wanted to share with you guys in case anyone else likes that, or if it brings up any inspiration or connects new dots or brings up new ideas for you. There you go. That is my gift to you this lovely Saturday. Enjoy. And enjoy creating. Creation is powerful. All humans have the ability to create. It's actually, I think, we have more ability to create than we realize or than we can even fathom. And so learning how to create and learning more about that and becoming more aware is super, super impactful. And if you would like more information on that, or if you're also a fellow lover of being mindful creators, and learning how to create, leave a comment about it or reach out to me. All right, have a great day, guys.